what can I automate that will actually free resources up? So there's sort of different kinds of automation. There's sort of the automation that helps me not have to do a single task, but from a staffing perspective, I can't reduce the number of staff I have because of that. Because just because you can automate a single task doesn't mean you don't need the whole role. It just makes that person maybe a little bit more effective or efficient. So this is where we're implementing managed automation for specific sets of tasks, where some are completely managed on the lockbox side of things. Some are human in the loop with the client side. So the very first thing we start with, because it's so tedious and error prone, is reconciliation and payment posting, where this means pulling in the bank deposits plus all the raw 835s and then making the appropriate postings in the right financial class against the right charges, doing the right balance transfer. When you get a second remittance, that you don't accidentally create a credit when one shouldn't be there, because that happens a lot with sort of basic auto posting as well as sort of the human enablement. But just being able to get rid of that function so that you can reallocate one or multiple people that were doing reconciliation and posting upstream into the AR workflow area, or to offset maybe a biller that you lost or whatever it might be. But being able to shift resources to what matters, to collecting money, not doing data entry. That kind of automation, is so important here to add to the mix, because you really don't want to, if you haven't outsourced already, you don't really want to have to do that because you're down one person. You want to be able to bring in sort of tools and technologies to do that. Some of the other things we're helping sort of on deck to help support with, getting AR supporting documentation out the door, whether that's all the Medicare Advantage plans are requesting more data now. You're going to want to lay eyes on those documents. You need a fast way to do that and to get it delivered. So can I turn something that previously was a 15 plus minute process into a 2-minute process? And that gives me more leverage to actually catch up. So there's a way to use automation, but I'll tell you, having seen a lot of automation and been involved in this for a number of years, the problem that a lot of folks have is that the automation is out of sight and not well managed. And so therefore, either A, the client can't trust it, or if they wanted to lay eyes on something that shouldn't be fully automated, they never had a chance to. So where is that human in the loop process to, lay eyes on clinical documentation before I send it to the payer because they requested it? I want to lay eyes on that. That's the right thing to do, because we all know there could be gaps in the documentation for a variety of reasons, and you need to sort of very quickly address that and identify it. So you don't want to make that autonomous where you don't see it. And that's where I think a lot of the automation projects have fallen short, because in the case where you wanted a human in the loop, there was no real interface to do that. You really needed to have a human in the loop in a tool that they were actively using.
And so I'd like to make a comment on that, John.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's the nature of RCM directors, but we're very protective of our AR, to the point that we could even say controlling or hesitant to delegate. So when people hear, hey, we'll automate that for you, the first thought is, how do I know it's going to be the right stuff? Like, I'm not going to let you just have, a bot go out and write off a bunch of stuff. But the approval process is in there, right?
Yeah.
We isolate, identify, we package it. And then it must be approved. It must be approved by, if you require 2 layers, you and the CFO, by all means, that approval process will be there. You will still be the gatekeeper. You're not losing control. And the other thing I wanted to bring up that you had mentioned, backing up a little bit, reconciliation. What I saw so much in every single client that I walked into, the reconciliation of the bank statement with patient posting, the billing department, never matched 100%, because, and they think they are. If I ask the CEO, CFO, and the RCM director, do you all balance every day? The first answer when I walk in is, yeah, we have a process to do that. what they're really doing is balancing within their own department. So the RCM director is like, yep, Susie balanced her drawer, Jenny balanced her Medicare remit posting totals. They all came out fine. Is it really matching the bank? Not always. I have seen where it's in the bank but never posted. It's posted but not in the bank, or it is, but the date, they're in different months because the posting was so delayed, or it hit the bank, just yesterday. So anyway, reconciliation is huge, and people do not, the CFO and the billing department are very often missing each other completely.
Yeah.